Okay, so we'll look at Loop Insights real quick, and we'll look at some others. And then we'll do an under 5-minute review, and we'll get more into Loop Insights and other details. The updates are this, all right, real quick. So we have Between Plays, we have the under 5 minutes, which is a general view of the research that we've done on the stock. All right. Then we have Week in Review. That's going to review like the macroeconomic, the global situation, so major headlines and stuff like that. We will not get into any microeconomics on it. Definitely we will say, please go pay attention to that. Go pay attention to that. Okay, we have this, go pay attention. That bill was signed, guys, go pay attention to that. And we're going to just state, we believe you should pay attention to it. And that's it. And also where we think we should be going, in the future concerning those stocks. Anything on the microeconomic level, what a company might do in the future, it's might. No clue. So we're telling, we're saying pay attention to what's going on, because what a company does in the future, we have no idea. But because a bill was signed last Friday, that we do know. That is fact. And that's something we say, you need to go look and pay attention to that. Now, of course, what happens as that's our Week in Review, then what we'll do is under the 5 minutes, we can address some of those things more in depth or on the analytical. So when you see Between Plays like this, that's the analytical one. That's the one that's going to be long and talk about. And what we can give for an example of that, or under the 5 minutes. Anyways, let's just keep on going here. So we have the under 5 minutes. We have the Week in Review, which is macro level at global level. We have the analytical, all right, which is when you see this just simple like that. That means that it's going to be a long video. And then we have the say here, which is going to be for the interviews, and that's going to be on people, general people that have had a hard time in life, and then they made it, and they did something, they overcame their hurdles, or whatever it was that it was in their way, they managed to succeed and just get somewhere. There's always a learning process in that, and that's great, okay? And we will also be interviewing CEOs or investor relations, whoever it is in a company, and that all comes with time. Let's not forget that I only started this at September 11th on the dot. And before that, we had our web page. So the web page was first, www.betweenplays.com was first, and then we got out this on September 11th. And that was just the introductory video. And I think we put up the other video. I think the first one was CloudMD, per chance. Now, after that, what we have, which I tried starting this morning, but I just didn't have enough time. Actually, the editing took so long that I was like, okay, no, I can't do it this way. We're going to do this in a better chronological manner. And we are starting the morning edition. So basically, Between Plays, coffee with Between Plays, coffee time. I don't know. We're going to figure out a name for it, but it's definitely a morning edition. And we're going to be talking about pre-market because it should be up before 7 a.m., before 6:30, 7 a.m. So, and it might not be every single morning. It's going to, we're going to see how far we get with things back and forth until we get everything more in a flow. But we're going to do our best to try to get it up every morning. And especially with the holidays, it's a little bit harder right now, right? Everybody knows I have, been listening to the CloudMD ones. I have children and stuff, so everybody's home now. So it's a little more complicated. But this is what's going to be happening. And in the morning edition, we're going to be talking about the most active stocks, pre-market gainers, pre-market losers, and what's trending on the news of that morning, all right, that we were able to see before we put up the video. And of course, we'll get into a little bit maybe on a stock or something like that. Morning edition. We're going to take it easy. We're going to have a coffee. We're going to relax. We're going to talk, and that's it. All that being said is that this channel is supposed to be a fun and friendly channel, and that's what it's. So with that being said, we are also starting Between Plays Interactive. Now that we get into that, Loop Insights. I've been asked to do a video on Loop Insights. Look, I'm just going to get out here real quick. We have money in Loop Insights. Naturally, when you look at it as a standpoint from the government and CEOs, extremely attractive, with the marketing power and stuff that they're able to bring to the analog. I call it the analog world, meaning us. And because if you look at computers, it's always asking for cookies when you go on pages because they want to know everything about you. They want to be able to market to you. They want to, when we get onto something that, pop, it's right there. And, you buy it, purchase it, so money flows. So, but we will get more into that. So in our opinion, definitely we put down an amount that we can afford to lose, just because we find that there might be an individual aspect that might turn certain people off, which is something I really like to talk about. So am I bullish on it? Look, we only put in what we could afford to lose because we have two different opinions, and I have discussed this with my friends, and that's why I want to have a conference call about this, meaning a Zoom call, and that we can all interact and have fun doing it and discussing the stock, and you'll understand why when we get into it, and it just be lots of great fun. You know, if you look at it from a CEO standpoint, you're looking at like all this marketing aspect. Like if you go to the casinos, it knows, you know, if you're a big, you know, VIP player and all this kind of stuff, and what you like playing. Is it blackjack? Is it roulette? And then if you look at it from, you know, the hotellery, you know, it knows like what kind of room you like. You always book in. You know, if you like to look at the water, you know, and if you like wine, or if you like rum and coke, or it knows exactly what you're doing, right? And if you're looking at the sports venue of it, well, you know, you're looking at sports, it can, you know, sell you stuff like promotions on it. So it's a very powerful tool. And of course, it's got the COVID tracing inside there. So it, you know, knows when you've been around anybody, and it knows your addresses and stuff like that. So it knows where you've been, it knows who you've been around. And this is the other side of it, the more of the individualistic side, not the CEO side. So as a person, do you want someone knowing that much about you in the analog world? In the digital world, it's one thing to accept cookies, but when you're in the analog world, do you want people to know where you've been, how many times you go there, what you actually are, what you like to drink and everything like that? Because how about if these companies decide everybody's just going to go and say, yeah, you need to tap your phone, you need to, in order to buy stuff, you need to be part of like something that traces everything so that they can market to you, but you know, you're basically everything you do is known, you know. So basically that's the other side of it. So naturally we put in a position that we consider it a little bit of a risk because of that human aspect of people not really wanting everybody to know what they do in the analog world. Now that being said, we are moving up into a different type of world, right? Where people, they give that up a little bit more easily because they've grown up with the internet and accepting cookies and all this kind of stuff that. So maybe it's a transitionary phase thing, whatever. So we put in what we could afford to lose, and we are, as CEOs and as governments and everything, we're bullish on that aspect of it. Absolutely, the technology and everything is there that everybody wants. As individuals, like, how do you feel about that technology? And this is where I would like to have a Zoom interactive on, and that would be a great stock to do a Zoom interactive. In the weekend review, we also spoke about the delisting things of Chinese stocks and something like that. And of course, we had a comment, and the comment was very valid about, you know, we should have made like, you know, we should have talked about the fact that, and I get it because some people are in these stocks and they're a little bit worried and they think that maybe a video like that, but you know, in the weekend review was a generality, and I'm not going to get into microeconomics. So the fact that someone signed a bill, the President Donald Trump signed a bill, is a fact. Will these companies go and follow through with the 3 year? It has to be 3 year in a row that you're not audited in the practices that's stipulated within the bill. All right. So if it's not stipulated in the bill, if you don't follow the bill, all right, if you don't follow the bill, then basically you're running the chance of becoming delisted. Now, sorry, the noise had thrown me off. So, and when you think about also the Chinese government was saying that, you know, the American market and the world market is too important to us. We would not want to lose out on any of the markets and all this kind of stuff. It looks like to me that it's a formality that is actually a good one. It's a positive one. I don't see anything negative in it. I mean, do you really want to be in a luck and coffee situation? No. Who wants to be stuck in that? How about that poor guy that put in all his money and lost it all? If we would have had something there that would protected us more, like this auditing practice, then we have more, assurances or surety that, you can put more money in and you not have to worry so much about it. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. So the person's comment is extremely valid. 2 thumbs up for the comment. Completely. It's just that in the weekend review, it's really generalities. And that's why we tell people, go take a look at that. Make sure that you know what you're doing there. Because why? The company itself needs to follow that practice, right? it needs to follow that practice. So if the company in 3 years didn't follow that practice, man, that's not good. No bueno. So you have to just make sure of that. So that's what's very important here. Now, all being said, you think these big companies like care about going and get audited in the way that the bill stipulated? I mean, if there's nothing to hide, then they don't care. It's not a problem. You know, like these car manufacturers that are on the world market, you know, like the Neos and the Xpangs and the Li Autos. I mean, just go look at those vehicles. BYD, come on. They're, you know, I don't see why they wouldn't follow a practice like that in order not to be in any kind of trouble. I mean, it makes no sense to me. You know, you look at these vehicles and the market and everything. It's just gonna get bigger. So yeah, I have no issues with that whatsoever, and I really do, like, in our opinion, we do not believe that they would allow themselves to become to go into that problematic area. And if they would, you got to ask yourself why, right? So I think that you know, clarifies that. And you know, in the morning editions and in under 5 minutes, we'll be clarifying certain things. That is in the weekend review. Weekend review, macro and global. All right. So what else is there? I'm gonna be there's a company that I'm looking at. I saw in the microcap. I really thought was really cool, called PopReach. We're gonna have more on that. The two CEOs have been involved in many for a long time in the gaming industry. So go take a look at PopReach, and we will do a review on that. So the morning edition will feature morning general trending news, also pre-market stuff like the active stocks, the gainers, and the losers. All right, so we'll actually mention them in the morning edition. And of course, every morning they're on our Twitter. So if you go to Betweenplays on our Twitter feed, so it's Betweenplays1, so at Betweenplays1 on Twitter, you're going to see that you know, we send out every time there's a new article out, or any time that we're doing something or we need to do update. I noticed that we don't have, because I would have just done that there, what I'm doing here, but because I noticed that there's not as many people there that there is here, that's why I'm doing this video instead of just tweeting out what we have to tweet out. Sorry about that. Now, so just like say on betweenplays.com, so www.betweenplays.com, our webpage, we'd like to just welcome Jason Richards. We're trying to finalize some certain agreements with the writers, and we have now Jason Richards. We finalized an agreement with Jason Richards, and it's great because he already has his article, which we are currently editing and putting up, and it's an amazing article, such an easy read. And Jason Richards has written stuff before in the past, and it's just awesome. And his first article will go up, and that's going to be on Virgin Holdings, Mr. Branson's space, ticker symbol SPCE. So take a look at that. It's going to be really, really cool. And I think it's going to be called, sorry about that. And I think it's going to be called Space, the Final Frontier. You get it? So anyways, or something of that, something really close and similar to that. Now CloudMD is doing well, and we're looking out for 2021, you know, opening up of Alberta and Quebec. That is going to be huge. So we're extremely long on CloudMD, and you know what? Don't forget about the LOIs that they had under Premier Health with China, and let's not forget that they have Benchmark, and they have so much more. Idea 4, just excellent. They're going to be able to go throughout the states, and you know, with Benchmark they have Antworks, and Antworks is with Benchmark. They still have and that's New Delhi, India. So, you know, we're extremely bullish on CloudMD, and basically that's just it, guys. So have a great day, and look out for Morning Coffee Edition with Between Plays. And you know, there were some comments, questions on my background, and I'm going to get into that more in the morning editions. All right, so have a great day. CloudMD is doing well, like 259. I mean, that is amazing, right? That we're seeing support. This is great. All we have to do is just wait for all those institutional buyers to come in, and you know what is it? The inflection, the hockey stick. So the hockey stick, right? And this is going to be so much. Look at that, 260. Come on, guys, this is great. This is great. So please don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button. Now we're asking for everyone that's watching the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you hit the notifications, of course, you'll get the updates right away. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, and we'll keep on doing this. And as I said, we'll have the under 5 minutes week in review, say here the analytical one, so you'll be seeing it just simply like this. And of course it'll always say under review, it'll say which one we're doing. And you'll have the morning edition, which will have about pre-market stuff, right? Active stocks and what's trending in the news that day, gainers and losers. And we are going to be doing the interactive versions too in the first. Well, okay, guys. Well, you'll see more on interactive when we're actually doing it, and you'll see it'll be lots of fun. You know, through Zoom, we'll have multiple windows, and we'll have different people on. We'll discuss a stock. That all being said, have a great day. Always remember to research, prepare, and execute, and stay strong. And we'll see you tomorrow morning on the morning edition.